Oh, no, no, no. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, ok. Necesita mi cooperación. Hello. Hello. LinkedIn. No. Uh, okay. There we go. Okay. Stop. So let's continue on. And sorry about the interruption I got during the morning. Um, that took some time. I need to take care of something. Anyway, let's restart the. Let me see. Okay. Oh, wait. Please work. Thank you. Wait. Why not? Why not on the same folder? That doesn't make any sense. Mm, oh, okay. Well, let's not be too picky, I guess. Now, let's check it out. So this is the static website. I've been working on this all week. It's been a very interesting project so far. This is a refactoring project, which means that this website is going to pretty much feel the same way as before. So not many things have changed. I still have some broken pictures here because this came from Facebook. Uh, um, so I need to fix those, but I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Um, I'm guiding myself through here using these videos here. So let's see where were we? There we go. So I created this static content file. Let's try to zoom it out. There we go. So as you can see here, I basically refactor the roads folder code into this controller file inside the controllers folder. Um, I am embracing the MVC, that's the model view controller philosophy, because I know what's going to happen in the future, and I want to be prepared when that future comes to pass, which is basically this static website is not going to be static anymore, and I'm going to allow I guess the website administrators of the future to be able to add content to the website and to manage different actual administration stuff from the website. I am planning to include online payment here. So thinking in the future, that's why I'm giving a lot of thought on how to work with the model view controller structure, and that's basically what is taking me so long this couple of days to keep advancing here. Having said that, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm going to do another decision here. For example, what do we do? Well, we refactor a lot of. You can see that this is pretty much copy pasta code from the routes directory into this static content directory. And basically, I'm just importing it back here and just inserting the export right there. So it's just like a division of location, I guess. So I'm moving out the code that I was using here, and I just inserted it inside its own controller file here. And you can see that all the endpoints are basically the same thing. They are just the only thing that seems to be changing is the actual path and the and this value here, the actual value of the path here. Maybe this this could be considered as you repeat yourself too much. Maybe you're right, or maybe that's right. But at this point, I just want to keep moving forward. There is a point in time where you refactor yourself too much, and being a perfectionist is going to work against you on this job, I guess. So, mm. Okay, so let's continue. So the next thing I will do here is quite a controversial move. You can see the routes folder here, which was basically the folder I used to have to manage most of my routes. And here I do have on the root directory the app.js file. And here you can see a quite a large list of use of app uses here, which these lines. Let's go a little back here. There we go. So we do have here quite a long list of imports for router files, and all of these imports belong to every single file here in the routes file. And then down below here, there we go. We use those route files in order to basically use these paths into the web app. So I was thinking that maybe this is way too much for the app.js file to manage. And what's going to happen when I begin developing this website into something way bigger than just, I don't know how many of those are. But basically selected, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pages right now are going to be rendered here. But yet I've been working on projects that are comprised of hundreds, if not thousands, of static pages, not counting the amount of dynamic content that is going to be generated on this website. In my own experience, if I keep this work technique here, right now it's not a big deal. Yet, if I get to manage not even 100, what about 20 more or 50 more? And by the moment I reach to 100, maintaining this code may be quite difficult to do because I'm going to need to take care of the app.js every single time I make a big decision about removing a route or adding a new one. Then I need to access this file. So what I was thinking is, what about this approach? If I already know that the content on this particular website is going to be static at this time, maybe I may like to create just a single index router and rename the router basically. After renaming the index router, maybe I should just leave it as is. I may like to use subpaths inside the index router in order to basically create a static content router, so to speak, and allow myself to encapsulate all of these routes inside a single route file. This, in combination with the controller folder, should allow me to just have a single route file for the entire static content. Um, So let's just do that. Basically, what I'm going to do first, let's review the controllers folder. As you can see here, this is the mechanic I'm going to be working on. Using a single file, I guess static content JS should be the same name down here. Right now, I do have separate JavaScript files for managing the routes, and that's been working pretty good so far. Yet, I'm going to do something new here. Let's open index.js. And you can see here, this is pretty standard for a route file. If we open another file, it's pretty much the same thing with slight differences. For example, here, I am summoning or importing the get home attribute from the static content controller file. And this is basically the code that I just wrote this morning here. Basically a refactoring from having everything inside all of these route files. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to rename this file yet. Yet what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to insert all the static page routes code inside this file. So maybe I'm not going to rename the file yet, just to make an example here. So let's say index.js is going to be my main entry point for the route. If we go back to app.js, we can see that I already created a variable for the index route, and I imported the index route file from the routes folder into the app. And down here, I am actually allowing Express.js to use the root path and the index router to match them together inside the root path. And as well, I do have quite a long list of endpoints down here. So what I'm going to do is first, I just reviewing this code. I'm not going to modify anything here yet. But here, I may like to insert more routes. For example, let's see, if we open the website, this is a refactoring process. So the website should work just like this. You see, I am able to render all the pages just normally, nothing out of the ordinary. So let's say that I want Comunidad Infantil to be rendered with this new proposal system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Comunidad Infantil, I think it's called. Let's review that. Comunidad Infantil. There we go. So I'm going to pick this code and basically copy just the router, the call for the router like this. Control C. And I'm going to reopen the index JavaScript file. And before the module exports router, because this is going to be exporting the router into app.js, down here, I'm going to paste the code for that router. Now, I cannot just leave it as is. Why? Because now I am going to use two different routes inside the same route file. So what I need to do now is to comply to a different route down here. You see, the thing is, in app.js, let's open app.js again. There is an index router. You see, I imported here, but down below here, I actually use this index router with a specific path. And I get this path out of the bat inside the index router file here. So when I get here, the path I need to, let's just paste it here, for example. In order to get there into the index page, I am actually getting into, I believe this. You see, that's the path that I actually using to open this index page. This dash over here, the last dash, this dash over here is basically the root folder, this path over here. So for the Comunidad Infantil path, I need to actually type this path down there. Because when I execute this router file, I am already on the dash. That's what I can just type the root folder here. But here, I need to actually type down the name of the path down there. In this case, like this. So let's replace this. And now I should be able to access a single starting point and point out to different routes from the same folder, from the same file, I mean. Now, the index file is going to contain code not just for the index page, it's going to contain the routes for all the other static web pages, or that's the idea at least. So obviously, if I do this, and let's see if it actually works. In order to ensure that I'm going to use just this route over here, I need to go to app.js, and I'm going to comment this line over here. I don't need it anymore. I'm going to comment it out. I'm going to go back to Comunidad Infantil. I'm going to leave this file as is because it doesn't matter if it got imported into app.js. I'm not going to use this file anymore because here it's commenting the line that is going to actually use it. I could actually say, you know what? I'm going to comment the definition of the Comunidad Infantil router anyway. And now I'm 100% sure that I'm not actually using that router at all. So now let's say, but I do have the root folder and I'm using the index router, and the index router is here. Now, if the idea is that, let's copy this. If I'm using Comunidad Infantil, then if I write this parameter here, this means that in order to execute this router, this get method router, I need to type this in the URL. That's what this parameter here is going to do. It's going to allow me to basically pass the distribution of links of paths from the app.js file into the route itself. This is very useful because this means that I can actually define all the routes inside this single file. That's what I was saying, that probably I'm going to end up renaming this file in the end. But let's get working on and see if this actually works. I'm going to save it. Let's refresh. And let's click Comunidad Infantil. And there you go. It's actually working. And I know that my code is running from this file and not Comunidad Infantil. If I could even delete this file just to be even more sure that that endpoint no longer exists. And here, instead of commenting out, I could just delete the entire code referring to Comunidad Infantil router. And as you can see, I deleted a router from the app.js file, yet I still have the route because it's defined inside the first one here. You see? This route over here is continue on, but the code seems to be pretty simple because most of these codes belong to the controller anyway here. And these are all static web pages in the end. So the code is going to be copy pasted anyway, but when the time comes, I'm going to be having not just get requests, but post requests, update requests, delete requests, and all the methods related to a RESTful API. And I'm going to be building a RESTful API, and that's where I feel more comfortable working on the backend side of things. So, but here, since I'm working alone on this project so far, my wife helped me a little bit at the beginning, but she does have her own job. So I'm basically writing this myself and allowing me to take my time to develop this because let's be honest, I've been working. I claim to be a full stack web developer. Yet most of my experience is on the back end, so that's why I'm being very careful here, and I take quite some time to. I don't have a rush to finish this quickly, but I do have an interest of doing this the right way. So enough talk, I guess. Here an index. Let's just repeat this process over and over again for all the other endpoints, and basically uh, delete most of the files over here. Let's try with the next one. Who's the next one? Actually, I may like to go in alphabetical order here. So basically, get this, copy, go to the index file, and I'm going to insert all of them anyway. I should probably let's see, what's the route for that one? Well, they share the same name as the, there we go, here, aviso. They share pretty much the same name as the view and the route file, so I don't really need to guess. Uh, that's the good thing about being consistent with naming. I guess I could add this comment over here, maybe. I don't think it's going to help, so I'm going to just delete that because it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. So, and it's not going to be localhost all the time. So I don't want to say future lies anyway. That's the code. I need to keep the last line on its place. I'm going to remove this white space when I'm done. At this time, just going to continue. Homepage, comunidad infantil. Uh, these are just static pages, so it doesn't matter. Get home, like this maybe, or yeah, yeah, that's a good name. Okay, so let's continue with the static routes. That this was aviso. Let's go to Casa de los Niños and basically repeat this process over and over again. Casa Niños, just as the file is saying. Let's save a little bit. Comunicado. And basically this is copy pasta work. So I'm not really thinking here. If I make a mistake, I'm going to figure it out later, I guess. Comunicado. Contacto. Galería. And as you can see, I am refactoring things that I decided long ago to be there. So, and that's basically software development. There is not if you're looking for a perfect spot to be, you are not going to get there anywhere. So because you're going to take decisions in the future that are going to require for you to change your legacy code anyway. So that's what I don't get married to the idea of writing the things just one time. I am refactoring a lot, I know. Let's see, index, then inscripciones. So that's why I'm making decisions here that don't seem to make much sense in the long run, but they actually do. Let's see, inscripciones, and basically recreate all the endpoints here, all the routes in the index folder, in the index file. I mean, oh, go. Okay, we're almost done. Will be método. Pilar. And today should be the last day. I am making a refactoring job. I need to begin adding new content to the page because I was asked a couple of days ago to do that, and I've been neglecting that in order to keep advancing on the development of the dynamic website. Preguntas, but today, maybe today, I'm going to finish quickly because I'm just refactoring here. So I don't hope to get into any trouble by doing this because it's just basically copy pasta. And users not. I didn't wrote this. This was generated by the Express generator anyway. So I think that's it. There we go. And now, before anything else, let's save. Okay, let's save this. And remember, I'm going to use the index.js router file inside app.js, and all of this. Let's just delete all of the. Let's avoid users could stay there because I didn't wrote that one. But this is going to be removed, and I'm only going to get the index router, and all of these variables importing scripts are going to be deleted, and I do have a very clean app.js file now. Now let's see if everything works as intended. Okay, seems to be working, and there we go. Everything else seems to be working just fine. Oh yeah, this is broken because uh, I included the link here, but I haven't built the Taller 1 web page anyway. I'm going to. This is one of the of the things I need to do. I need to build a new page here that doesn't exist yet. Etc. Etc. This is the actual gallery that is going to be rebuilt. So anyway, let's see. So basically, the website is working now with the index route file and the index router only. So I don't need any of this. Yes, let's delete the rest of all of this. For example, need to go. I don't need them anymore, and I don't need any of these anymore. There we go. I wonder what happens if, because I didn't see the something like this, for example. Okay, not found. That's perfect. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so look at this. I remove a lot of self-repeating code, and I'm using just this. So um, I am inclined to rename the file and the router to something else. So I was thinking about renaming that to static content because in the end, the controller is named that way for all the static content. So maybe I should rename this as a static content router. You see? There is a function here. Let's see. There is only 2 occurrences, but you can redefine the name of the symbol, rename the symbol with F2. And here, you can just type static content router. See? And down here, it's being renamed at the same time. You see? The same name. This is just a refactor. But now index is going to be renamed too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this name file, just the name, and I'm going to rename the route file to that name. Instead of index.js, it's going to be called static content.js. It's going to actually help me to rename the imports on this file to the new static content. Yeah, let's do it. There we go. Now, if that did something, that means that here, for example, static content, that's nice. The route is not it's not indexed anymore. Now it's named static content. And let's see app.js. You can see that Visual Studio Code already helped me renaming the file import to a static content up here. So that means that if I save this, everything should be working just the same. Let's see. There we go. It's working. There we go. And basically with this, I allow myself to rest a little bit because now I only had one route file over here called static content. Inside the app.js file, I importing only that one as a static content router, and I just am using in Express the root path for the static content router and allowing myself to basically use this route file to define the routes for all the static pages out here. That's basically it. So I get to use all the static pages on one single file. And if I want to modify the behavior of these routes or add a new one, let's say with a different method, because all of these are just simple gets. All of these are get request methods, basically. So if I want to modify the behavior of a specific endpoint here, I could just go to the controller folder, open a static content inside the controller folder, and here I can basically modify whatever I want to return, basically. So no more changes are required. This is a refactoring process anyway, which means that the website will be working the same. The behavior didn't change. Basically, that's why this is a refactor. There you go. But it's going to be way easier for me not just to read my own code, but to explain it to somebody else. So I'm going to be making testing on my wife, I guess, and try to explain to her how this is going to work, or is working, because it seems to be working now. And now it's time to just commit changes. Let's commit changes. Okay, delete it. Okay, this. Okay, this was removed. No, too generic. Remove from the app.js file. That should be the first change. Then I deleted a lot of files, but there is one in particular, this one. I'm going to add the static content file, the JS routes file, this one here. I'm going to add this, and I'm going to, let's see, what is index? There we go. Now this, a couple of things happened. I deleted the index file, and I replaced it with this. I believe that the source code is here. There we go. There we go. That's fine. And basically remove unused router files. router files. And that's it for the controller section of the code. So I'm going to take another break. And when I get back, we are going to be working not with the views, not with the controller, not refactoring, but we are going to be working with the model part of the model view controller architecture. Thank you for coming in, and see you in like an hour or so. Thank you.